Have you ever felt invisible? Like, not only did people not see you, they didn't really hear you. Or maybe you had some fear around speaking up, maybe some public speaking anxiety. And so you stayed quiet or you rambled and you just aren't having the effect you want to with your communication. Well, I can feel you there because I felt invisible many times in my life. From being a new engineer out of college, where I was more concerned with my abilities to calculate than to communicate. And then later as a stay-at-home mom, where I was somebody's mom, somebody's wife, the nice lady from church. I didn't really have an identity, didn't really have a voice. But let me tell you a little bit about my journey, where I went from being the reserved engineer, the nerdy engineer, to an empowered speaker, and finally to someone who coaches others to speak with greater confidence and clarity. When I started out as an engineer, like many engineers, I felt that the facts could speak for themselves. Or if I wanted to prove a point, I would need to build up to the point before I made the point. It was a little bit like having the curse of knowledge, where I had it all in my head. I knew my stuff, but I didn't lead with the important information until one day, as I was building up to my point, my boss said, "Would you just get to the point? I don't know where you're going with this." That's when I learned something really important and something I help many of my clients with is how to be clear and concise and get to the point. Later, as a stay-at-home mom, I was busy with kids and didn't really talk to adults that much. But one day, when my oldest child was 14, I thought that he should probably get some public speaking experience. And speaking in front of mom and his siblings at home just wasn't going to cut it. So I took him to our local Toastmasters club, and I found out that he was too young to join. But I could be his ticket in to getting some public speaking experience. If I would join the club, they said they would let him give a few speeches. So I joined, and not only did he give a few speeches, but I started giving speeches. It was terrifying. I still remember my first speech. I had written it out very carefully. I had practiced it. I brought my notes up to the lectern, set them down, grasped both sides, tried to look up every now and then so I could have eye contact. But my knees started shaking, my hands started shaking a little bit. And the best part of the speech was being done when I got to sit down. Fortunately, with the support of club members I had at the Toastmasters Club, I did improve. And later, people started asking me for help as well. And I got enough confidence that I actually got a job where I used public speaking and I gave lead generating workshops for a local business college, giving 7 different workshops to juniors and seniors in high school. Talk about a tough crowd. High school students can be challenging, and you can't be a boring speaker when you're talking to high school students. So, through that experience, I learned how to be a little more engaging, how to be a little more persuasive, and yes, even how to be a little more fun in my public speaking. From there, I actually thought, maybe I could make this a career. And I joined the National Speakers Association, took some classes through them, did some public speaking. But I found that my true passion wasn't so much me giving presentations on stage as working with other people, coaching them to find their voices because through all these other people, I could have a greater impact by helping them be more confident. I work with all sorts of people from youngest was age 10, oldest age 80. Most of my clients are career age. They are often subject matter experts where they know their stuff. They just want to be seen as more clear, more confident, more of a leader within their career and in their industry. And so I help them primarily through one-on-one coaching now. I've also written some books. Here's a few books. My first book was Cat Got Your Tongue on public speaking skills. Another book was actually written as an encouragement for a friend to write a book. We had a few dates where we wrote together, and well, I got a book done, she didn't. And this is tips and tricks to appear confident in presentations. And one of my more recent books is on impromptu speaking. And the reason I wrote the book on impromptu speaking was becoming something that more and more clients were really interested in improving. And I sometimes wonder if people lost a little bit of skill during the pandemic, and also because so much of communication, especially with younger people now, is asynchronous, where they will text or they will message, and there is not the immediacy of having to respond in the moment. So impromptu speaking is an important skill because really we use it every day. We use it in meetings. We use it in job interviews. And that's something I've also done more recently, is helping people prepare for job interviews. I help people who want to speak with greater clarity and confidence, maybe to get rid of the butterflies or get them flying in formation a little bit. People who want to have their voice heard, to be taken seriously. Maybe they don't always want to be serious, but they want to be taken seriously, to be seen perhaps as a leader within their industry. I hope that I can help you as well.